Welcome back, Wolfpack. Rollers here, and this is how to use Lopunny and Mega Lopunny. Also, I do know that the correct pronunciation is Lopunny. I've always said Lopunny. So let's just get into the stats. Now, I'm going to look at Mega Lopunny first, and just for the stats mainly. So overall, this is the dream for stats. And when we want a sweeper Pokemon, 135 speed and 136 on offensive stat, yes, please, that's amazing. Yes, even more yes, great. And even then, we have good defenses, 94 and 96. That's surprisingly tanky for some reason. 65 base hit points isn't too crazy, but also 54 on the special attack isn't that much. But overall, we have a sweeper Pokemon that can endure a hit, maybe even two, and it's just going to be a very crazy fast, crazy high damage Pokemon, so that's pretty awesome. Look at its typing. Normal Lopunny is going to be a normal type, and Mega Lopunny is going to be a normal fighting type. And the thing I love most about Mega Lopunny is the way that it has a normal fighting type, and then has Scrappy. So it gets, like, normal and fighting don't hit ghosts, but it gets Scrappy, so its main forms of stab hit ghost type Pokemon, and then some ghost Pokemon like Aegislash and Sableye get hit by its super effective fighting stab. It's such a nice setup. And as you've seen before, you know, with the normal typing, you're weak against fighting type Pokemon and ghosts can't touch you. And then with the normal fighting, it's really interesting. Since normal doesn't offer any kind of resistances whatsoever, it's pretty much just adding a fighting weakness to a fighting type Pokemon. Still weak against Flying, Psychic, Fairy, have that immunity to Ghost, and then a resistance with Rock, Bug, and Dark. Now let's go and have some fun and hop into Pokemon Showdown. So the first thing I'm going to mention about Mega Lopunny is going to be Fake Out Last Resort. That Fake Out Last Resort is just such a fun, silly, simple, easy, great combo, and it works out with Mega Lopunny because the main problem with Ambipom is like the next premier Fake Out Last Resort kind of Pokemon. The problem with Ambipom is that it's going to make it to where if you go against Ghost type Pokemon, you're going to have a hard time. Now with Mega Lopunny, so you just come in, Fake Out Last Resort, Scrappy ability lets you hit anything, and that's pretty awesome. So what I was looking at though is the comparison between Mega Lopunny and Ambipom. Normally on a Lopunny you want to run Jolly, you want to get all those outspeeds, but here's where it gets interesting. So say we have like a Jolly Nature Ambipom with a Life Orb. 299, that's going to get the 30% boost from the Life Orb, so it becomes like 390-ish. Well, say we go Max Attack, Adamant Nature, 408. And then we're also going to be faster from 361 to 369, and we hit Ghost type Pokemon. So this is going to be more power and more speed than a Life Orb Fake Out Last Resort Jolly Ambipom. I hadn't really thought about it like that before, but still, it's very powerful, a lot more consistent, and it's just crazy. This will always surprise you. You're going to score a KO with it and be like, what just happened? That Fake Out Last Resort shouldn't have worked. Or you just come into a straight up Last Resort, and that shouldn't have worked, but it does, and it can really catch your opponent off guard and go for a crazy sweep. If you have Stealth Rocks off, you just kind of save this Pokemon when your opponent only has like 4 somewhat weakened Pokemon left. The game is over, because Mega Lopunny is busted like that. Now, if you do want to run it with all of its coverage and stuff, you add High Jump Kick, you add Ice Punch, and now everything is pretty much going to die. So here's the thing about Ice Punch and any kind of coverage move like this. So say you have Return. Return is going to give you a 50% boost because of stab, and then it actually becomes a little bit over 150. Ice Punch, 75 base power, doubling on a super effective hit, is going to be less damage. So really, whenever you have a last move here, it's pretty much just going to be for those ×4 situations. Because of High Jump Kick, I'm not really worried about Ferrothorn too much, so I don't feel Fire Punch is necessary, and you still do serious damage to a Scizor or something like that. So Ice Punch, you come in, you just destroy Dragonites, you go and destroy Landorus, whatever Pokemon's in your way, you're going to get huge amounts of outspeed, unless they're Scarfed, and then you just get like crazy damage on that Ice Punch. And remember, you're still fairly bulky because of the defenses, so you do have that chance to survive. And some people, they might get really fancy and just throw in a Drain Punch, that way they take the hit. If they find that super effective opportunity, Drain Punch is going to be devastating. You do also have to think that Fake Out Return, that's just a straight up KO in many situations. If it's being hit neutrally, you know, 2 returns, craziness, Fake Out, craziness, just lots of damage, and then a little bit of extra coverage. These are Lopunny's natural stats. So 105 base speed, you just kind of run Timid or Jolly. Since you don't have any offensive moves on this, you're pretty much going for like the ultimate support Pokemon. You Switcheroo, you shut down one of your opponent's Pokemon that wants setup. It wants to just do Stealth Rocks. It doesn't have offenses. So now you give it a Choice Scarf, it can't do anything about that, and now it's useless. So after that, you can use Encore to lock them in, try to force out some Pokemon throughout the Thunder Wave. So you use Thunder Wave, you start like statusing your opponents, you make them slower than you, and then once you've Thunder Wave 1 or 2 of your opponents, you've already shut one down with the Switcheroo, you just go for the Healing Wish. Use their Feints, replacement's fully healed, so you kind of bring in Lopunny in the middle of the game when one of your main sweeper Pokemon is kind of low on hit points or already like statused and feels like it might be out of the game, that's when you come in, you Switcheroo, you play around. This really breaks your opponent's stall super well. If they're trying to be really frustrating with some kind of stall, come in, break it, Healing Wish, get your stronger Pokemon back in, and some status across the field. So that's going to make it to where you get a really follow-up easy sweep. Here's where it gets interesting. Better ideas have been found, and that's going to be Assault Vest Switcheroo. My goodness, so superfan Lucas, he came up with the Assault Vest Switcheroo idea. That a lot of people, they're kind of stuck on the idea of the Choice Scarf, which pretty much makes it to where your opponent has to go offensive. But I feel that Assault Vest is better because your opponent has to go offense and they don't have speed, so they might not get an outspeed. You know, if you give it to Rotom, he can still get some outspeeds and some damage. Like, they might find a way to cheese out some usage, but no, with Switcheroo, they're done. It's like a permanent taunt. They can't do anything about that, and then you can kind of run the same set, or maybe you just do some other things like Toxic, Thunder Wave. You go for a bit more stall aspects, and then you also have access to Baton Pass, so maybe you can gain some stat boosts like Cosmic Power, and that's going to let you just Baton Pass Cosmic Power on top of throwing down status. You know, you can build this one more tanky. It's like hit point investment with the speed, and really, this is amazing. I had it used against me on the Battle Gauntlet, and it was terrifying. I was not expecting it, and it does work out, so it's a really genius idea and a take on the Switcheroo. So you can pretty much run like the Assault Vest Switcheroo instead with this same set, or get a little bit more creative with it. And even then, we have Cosmic Power Lopunny. So you can kind of just do Cosmic Power stuff. You throw out a Thunder Wave, use Baton Pass, you have Cosmic Power, and I like the idea of Cute Charm. So your opponents are going to be hitting you, most likely making contact while you're setting up the Cosmic Power. 30% chance that they are going to be infatuated if they are of the opposite gender. That would be huge. Say they hit you, you get that 30% chance. It's like Scald Landing, it's like some kind of extra status effect, like Static, Effect Spore. If it does proc, you're pretty much in the clear, because then you just get free Cosmic Powers throughout the Thunder Wave. Thunder Wave makes it to where they have a 25% chance of using their attack. Cute Charm, I believe that Infatuation is 50% as well. So now that it's like just super low odds of them attacking, then you Protect, that's going to heal you up with Leftovers. So now you're getting an eighth of your health back every time they attack, you're getting tanky, Baton Pass into another Pokemon, and now we're Baton Passing Defense Boost, which gets really scary. Or you can just kind of, instead of having Thunder Wave, go for a mild Toxic Stall while you're setting up, and that could get pretty cool as well. And then there's Endure Flail Lopunny. So we thought Fake Out Last Resort was crazy. No, Endure Flail has much more damage. So the interesting thing about this is that whenever you see a Pokemon with Endure on its moveset, it's most likely going to be a 3rd generation move tutor, so it's not 6th generation legal. Mega Lopunny gets Endure, has Flail, has Fake Out, all 6th generation, and that's kind of insane. So Flail, whenever you're at 1 hit point, it means you're going to have 200 base power, getting stabbed with that Scrappy. So that is, you use Fake Out, you throw out like a Jump Kick, or maybe in a Flail or something, kind of soften them up. See, depending on like, if you see a super effective hit, use that Endure. Now you're going to tank it up to 1 hit points, and now you have stupid amounts of damage, still 135 base speed, and it kind of gets crazy. So you might see Jump Kick here instead of High Jump Kick. I wanted to mention Jump Kick as well. 95% accuracy compared to 90% accuracy. Now, since we're dealing with so much damage from Flail, we only need Jump Kick for Steel and Rock type Pokemon, so it's going to hit super effective with Stab anyways. I'd rather not take that 5% chance that you could miss. You're at 1 hit point, so you're definitely getting knocked out. Jump Kick, it's going to be more than enough damage for whatever you need it to do. So that's why, you know, we can just run Jump Kick, slightly safer, but it still might pay out in the end. We're just trying to reduce any kind of chance of something going wrong. So it works out. Mostly you're just going to be doing a 300 base power Flail with 371 attack. Very, very few things are going to be able to survive that. That's kind of it. So this is a very scary idea. You do need to time it well with the Endure, and that's kind of it. After that, you only have to worry about priority. And that shuts down a lot of sweepers anyway, so this is kind of the best thing that you could have. Other than that, Mega Lopunny, you can run it with Drain Punch and Cosmic Power. So now you just kind of use it as a weird setup Pokemon that you can kind of come in, get a Cosmic Power, use Power Up Punch. If you're still tanky enough, then you start hitting Drain Punches. Drain Punch is going to give you health back, and now you're a tanky Pokemon with Sustain using offensive boosting from Power Up Punch, and it gets really crazy. So what you can do is you can have Baton Pass. So now you have like say +2 attack, +2 on your defenses, Baton Pass out whenever you want, and the Pokemon coming in is going to be almost unkillable with a super amount of damage, or we can just go for all of the coverage options that we've been talking about. Return works out well, maybe even Last Resort, that by this point you've already used all of your moves. So Last Resort is still a very high damage option. It could be bad though because you have to use a weaker power Drain Punch until you can use that Last Resort. Once you get rolling, this gets terrifying. Cosmic Power, Power Up Punch, Drain Punch, that's your rotation. You start gaining health back, you start using Power Up Punch more, get a lot of damage, and then your opponent goes away. So the way I was thinking about doing this was that what we want to do is just max out speed, go with an adamant nature, and then max out hit points. That way now we're bulky, we're going to outspeed a lot of Pokemon, that way we get the cosmic power before they even attack us. And now we're tankier before they attack us, power punch, we get the stat boost, and then we drain punch before they attack us. So we're only taking 2 hits, one of them, or both of them are going to be with boosted defenses, and then drain punch is going to be just super amounts of damage. So the adamant nature is just to give us the most out of our boosting, because I feel you don't have to be the strongest, or the fastest Pokemon if you're already setting up defenses. And then lastly, Lopunny gets Teeter Dance. Lopunny has so many things that you never know what it's going to do. It could just Teeter Dance. That in doubles, Teeter Dance is busted. That even with like a Mega Lopunny set, that this, well, not this set, but you know, if we have like an offensive Mega Lopunny, instead of Ice Punch or Fire Punch, you can run Teeter Dance in doubles. We actually saw that, I think, at Nationals, and it was pretty cool. So you just outspeed, you confuse everything on the field, and depending, you know, if you just have Pokemon on your side protecting, they could hit themselves, and then there's a lot of support aspects here. Or we just play Tanky Lopunny, that when we have the Assault Vest Lopunny. Assault Vest, Switcheroo, shut down one setup Pokemon, go into Teeter Dance, and then you still have like a lot of other things. You can do craziness like Helping Hand and just be a complete support from there. But it's also with fast 105 base speed confusion shenanigans, and it's just all over the place. Also Limber, you can use Limber as an ability. I like the idea of Cute Charm. They make contact, they have a high chance of getting shut down, and that's pretty cool. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. That's how you use Lopunny and Mega Lopunny. Quite a mouthful, but Lopunny is pretty insane and full of shenanigans. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you all have a nice day.